Got a game here from Calamity versus Belagar. Whoa, that's messed up. Belagar playing as Skarsnik is not kosher. You can't do that. That's rude. As we load into the game. So I mentioned in the other video, but I don't know which order these are going to come out. Calamity submitted 2 Demons of Chaos replays I was very excited about because he's actually taking like mixed forces that aren't just blue fire spamming. Now this one, he does have blue fire, but also he has a ton of melee units, so bear with me. Pink and blue fire caster on Svark, the Feathered Prince. We have the Hellforged Bellower, Skull Cannon, ROR, a front line of Exalted Bloodletters, including the Hellforged Host, and then Barons of the Bog, Pox Riders with 2 other Pox Riders supporting them, and then 2 Blue Horrors of Tzeentch. Very tight, compact Demons of Chaos build. On the Greenskin side, we have the Warlords Boys, and then other Night Goblins, not the Spinning Loon variant. They are regular Night Goblins. Broken Tusk Mob, Orc Bulwer Biggins, Arachnarok Spider. It looks like the launcher one. We have a Night Goblin Shaman with Itchy Nuisance, Vindictive Glare, and Sneaky Stabbin'. Some archers, Night Goblin Archers, Durusty Errors, more Night Goblin Archers, and then more and more Night Goblins. Some of them are the Spinning Loons over here. So it seems like a Night Goblin themed build. Also have Night Goblin Squig Hoppers and Morgans, maybe Marauders. I mean, sorry, Moon Howlers. I'm not used to seeing them. So the Night Goblin themed build led by Skarsnik is very thematic, is very funny, is probably bad. Night Goblins are not taken for a reason, though the Squig Hopper flank already took out a Blue Horror. Spinning Loons, while they themselves are routing, they've done a lot of damage to the Exalted Bloodletters and the Pox Riders of Nurgle. Really close to getting rid of those guys, as archers are going to try and carry this game, as they are versus most Demons of Chaos, though an Overcast Pink Fire nearly kills the Rusty Errors. Archers are the key to beating Demons of Chaos, so we'll have to keep those guys alive and see how we can do there. Night Goblins fighting alongside Skarsnik versus Exalted Bloodletters is pretty brutal. They'll probably die swiftly, as the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers have finished their prey and need to select new targets as a Waaagh comes out. Properly timing your Waaagh with a lot of melee contact is important if you're going to win as Greenskins, and unfortunately those Night Goblin Squig Hoppers were not a part of most of the Waaagh. Moon Howlers and the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers sandwiching in the Blue Horrors. It wouldn't be a bad time for those little guys. They'll probably Demonic Instability crumble very soon. Lots of Archer Fire and Vindictive Glare poke onto Svark, down to half HP for him. Skarsnik is trying to hold with his Squig Hoppers and Broken Tusk Mob. The Exalted Bloodletters are the real problem here. The Pox Riders are kind of nifty, but no one the Greenskins brought to this fight want to fight the Exalted Bloodletters, so any direction they swing is a good direction. They'll get a lot of damage out. Arachnarok Spider is picked off by the Barons of the Bog and the Hellforged Host. Archers have rallied after Svark routed them very early in the game. They're getting free shots in onto these units. You can see one of the Pox Riders is fading. Exalted Bloodletters very close to leaving as well. Moon Howlers and the 8-peak Loonies taking a lot of damage from Svark, but for now they're holding them in place. The Hellforged Bellowers continues to fire. Good shot into the Goblins. Doesn't do as much damage as it used to. We do have an Exalted Bloodletter of Khorne that is starting Demonic Instability crumble, which is huge for the Greenskins because they'd actually have a very hard time killing them in melee. Just that Demonic Instability crumbling doing a lot of work. Balance power is 50-50. Hellforged Bellowers getting another shot off onto more Night Goblin Archers. Their pathetic Goblin leadership is starting to fail them. One retreats, and nearby goblins retreating will also make these goblins run, I think. It's been -1 for a while. There we go. He runs just as there was a rampage on Svark. It's a really rough time for them to abandon the fight. Skarsnik is running forward, giving Get Back Ear in spite of the Bad Moon a ton of stats to keep the Greenskins in the fight, damaging Svark quite a lot. Bounce power shifted against the Demons of Chaos, and it is looking a little rough for them. Greenskins' HP bars are bad, and a pink fire goes through all these guys, getting some of them to think about routing. But if you can finish off Svark, if you can kite this out, you can maybe win. The Hellforged Bellower is actually going to be pretty hard to kite out, so I don't know what they'll do about that, as the Arachnarok is back. Svark takes off into the sky, barely avoiding his fate, as the Arachnarok was going to chase him down. It's now going after the Hellforged Bellowers that are trying to kite away. Barons of the Bog and the Hellforged Host still fighting it out. Skarsnik maybe in a little over his skis. We do have 2 archers firing away at Svark, though they do need to separate. They're currently blocking their own shots by standing on top of each other. Really want to finish off the enemy lord, but a pink fire through them probably gets rid of those guys once and for all. The Rusty Error is staying with one leadership, the other archer is running away. So the archers need to kill Svark, but they also kind of need to kill the Hellforged Host, as the Vindictive Glare is going to slam into Svark as he thinks about charging nearby. Broken Tusk Mob have surrounded the Hellforged Bellowers. Arachnoid spiders nearby as well, trying to focus that thing down, because without Zvarik, if you can kill the Bellowers, then there's nothing left to chase your archers. But most of the archers are already looking kind of toast. Maybe they'll rally. We got a couple that are decently healthy. Hellforged Bellower still taking a lot of damage. Zvarik still at 778, where he has been for a while. A net onto the Arachnarok spider that was trying to chase him. Just a little bit of damage comes through, not that much. The Warlords boys get back here to keep them in the fight for now. Gaze of Fate is going to wear off as soon as the Arachnarok spider continues to fight it out. Zvarik is fading away. Vindictive Glare will seal his fate. So the demons lose their lord, which is going to be a big leadership hit to them. And the Barons of the Bog actually thought for a brief moment about demonic instability crumbling. Hellforged Bellower is going to get away. Skarsnik using his last taunt on Barons, not on the Hellforged Bellowers, could actually be a pretty big mistake there, because now those guys are free to kite you as much as they please. The Barons were already stuck in melee, but the Hellforged Bellowers were trying to get away and shoot. All right, Demons of Chaos very far down in the bounds of power. Hellforged Bellowers, a lot of ammunition and freedom to move. And the Hellforged Host are just chopping away right now. Sneaky stabbing on the Arachnarok as he gets shot in the side by the Hellforged Bellowers. -1 leadership, -4. It is going to rout with that buff up on it, which is pretty bad. The Hellforged Bellower is just going to shoot it again at point blank range, it appears. Swings around. It's just going to get into melee and chase that thing off. So can Skarsnik and his Night Goblin beat the Hellforged host, get them to demonic instability crumble, and then beat the Bellowers in melee? Arachnarok Spider's not coming back. Ooh, that's another thing. The spider actually could have kited outside the Hellforged host and shot them with its catapult. That could have also been very good. Broken Tusk Mob, which way is this going to work? So the Broken Tusk Mob Encourage aura, is that going to get the Arachnarok to come back? Or is the Arachnarok routing going to make the Broken Tusk Mob rout? 0 leadership, they'll hold for now. Skarsnik's taking a lot of damage. Hellforged Bellower's going to turn and fire. An already routing Broken Tusk Mob just gets shattered on the way out. I think that's probably it. Bounce power is still in the Greenskin's favor, but I'm just not seeing it. The Hellforged host are beating the absolute piss out of Skarsnik and Gobbler right now. Balance power comes back in the demon's favor. There is a Night Goblin Shaman back. If he has Vindictive Glare, maybe he gets a side shot down the Hellforged host and gets a lot of damage out. No, he casted the Bellowers and did do some damage, but not enough to get that or the Hellforged host to crumble away. Sneaky stabbing is on the Shaman. He's gonna do it on his own. He charges in. I actually want to see if he hits. Yeah, he got a hit onto the Bellowers, and the Bellowers didn't hit him. They're actually gonna start demonic instability crumbling, but it gets a hit onto the Nature Goblin Shaman, and his leadership fails him. But wow, they were actually demonic instability crumbling. If that had crumbled, and he'd been able to cast 1 or 2 more Vindictive Glares at the Hellforged host, he actually maybe could have won that. So that's kind of insane. Pretty close game. Silly build from Calamity. Pox Riders are still hot garbage, so they kind of held him back a bit, but the Exalted Bloodletters of Khorne did pretty well. Overall, they got hit with a late afternoon sleepy yawn. Skarsnik and his hero did fine. Night Goblins more mixed. Unbreakable guys did the best. Night Goblin Archers mixed as well. Squig Hoppers did okay. And the Spider and the Broken Tusk Mob did all right, but the Spider definitely should have used some more of its catapult capabilities there. GG's. Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.